Welcome back to Who Wants to Be a Mathematician. I'm still Mr. Hill, and we're continuing on from our earlier video with another example of composition of functions. So here we go. What we want to do is find our f of g of x. So we want to compose our two functions. So we're going to find our parent function. Our parent function is just the one on the outside, the outermost function. This is going to be the parent. And we write out our parent. So f of x is equal to 1 over x minus 1. And then we're going to compose it. So this is just step 1. This is 1, find our parent function. Step 2, we're going to replace all the x's. My brain's not working. Let's kind of do those over there. That looks better. We're going to replace all the x's. So replace x's with inner function. So what is our inner function here? Our inner function is our g of x. We can tell because it's on the inside. So in every x we have, we're going to replace it with g of x. And what is g of x equal to? Well, g of x is just equal to x minus 1. So I'm going to put an x minus 1 here because I just replaced that x with my g of x. So now step 3 is simplify. Simplify, all right. So my f of g of x is equal to 1 over x minus 1 minus 1, which is equal to 1 over x minus 2. That's it. I'm done. I found it. Huzzah! So step 1, what's your parent function? Step 2, replace the x's with the inner function. Step 3, simplify. So let's do g of f of x. So step 1, what's my parent function? Well, my parent function is g this time. So g of x is equal to x minus 1. So parent. Step 2, replace. We're going to replace all the x's in our g of x with f of x. So replace all the x's with f of x. And our f of x is equal to 1 over x minus 1 minus 1. We just replaced our x with f of x. And step 3, simplify. Simplify. So our g of f of x is equal to 1 over x minus 1 minus 1. Now we have to find a common denominator. Oh, I know everyone loves this. 1 over x minus 1 minus something over x minus 1. Well, to get a 1, we have to have the same thing on top and bottom. So this turns into 1 minus the quantity. Make sure you have a quantity here, otherwise you're going to get the wrong answer. This negative is attached to the whole quantity, which is equal to 1 minus x plus 1 over x minus 1, which is equal to 2 minus, come on, minus, oh, this is, come on, 2 minus x, pretend, come on, what's going on, 2 minus x over x minus 1. So that means our g of f of x is equal to 2 minus x over x minus 1. Bada bing, bada boom, we're done with that. So let's look at D. So f of g of x. Step 1, what's my parent function? F of x. F of x is equal to 3 minus x. 2, replace all my x's with g of x. So 3 minus 1 plus 2x squared is equal to 3 minus 1 plus 2x squared, which is equal to 2 plus 2x squared. And we're done. We simplified. This is our simplification process. So now if we wanted to do, I don't know, let's say g of f of x, of f of x of this one, we would find our parent function. Parent function is our g. It's on the outside, so g of x is equal to 1 plus 2x squared. We're going to replace all our x's with f of x. So it's 1 plus 2 times 3 minus x squared. Now we have to simplify, so following order of operations, we have to do our 3 minus x squared first, which is just equal to 3 minus x times 3 minus x. So if we FOIL this out, we're going to get 9 minus 2x plus x squared. Oh, I'm sorry, minus 6x. I'm going crazy. Oh, come on. And I'm also getting a cold. But that's okay. And then if we bring that back, we're going to get 1 plus 2 times our 9 minus 6x plus x squared is equal to 1 plus 18 minus 12x plus 2x squared. We combine like terms. 19 minus 12x plus 2x is equal to our g of f of x. And that's it. We're done. So step 1, find your parent function. Step 2, replace the x's in your parent function with your inner function. Inner function is my f of x. Step 3, simplify. That's pretty straightforward. So now, let's look at something a little bit crazier. So if we have e over here, and we're trying to find f of g of x, then all we have to do is 1. Parent function. Parent function is f of x, which is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 1. Step 2. Replace all our x's with g of x. So we're replacing now. We found our parent. We're replacing. Woo! Where did those just go? Nice. Nice. Alright. So if we replace this, then we're going to get x minus 1 squared plus 2 times x minus 1 minus 1. Remember all the x's, so there are 2 x's in this problem. There's an x with the squared term, and there's an x over here, so we replaced both of them. So if we square this out, we're going to get x squared minus 2x plus 1, just doing the math in my head. If you don't believe me, you can FOIL that out yourself. Oh, that's not an equal. Oh, that's not an eraser either. Plus our 2x minus 2, just distributed, minus 1, so we distributed here. So now we combine like terms. We have an x squared. We have a negative 2x. We have a positive 2x. We have a plus 1. We have a minus 1. So if all those cancel out, we're just going to be left with x squared minus 2. And we're done. Nice. Congratulations. So if we want to find 3 compositions of functions, so this is g of f of g of x, all we have to do is do our 3 simple steps. So 1, find the parent. Well, our parent is going to be g of x. Oh, g of x, which is equal to x minus 1. And then we just have to replace it with the innards. But the innards are 2 parts. 2 parts, so we have to break this up. So what is our parent? For our innards, our parent is going to be f of x, which is x squared plus 2x minus 1. And our innards are going to be f of g of x. Well, we just found f of g of x. F of g of x is going to be x squared minus 2. So our f of g of x, if you see right here, our f of g of x is going to be this. But we already found it, so we don't need to find it again. So our parent of the innards is f of x, and then our composition of the innards comes out to this. So then, for step 2, we replace this with f of g of x? Well, we know f of g of x is equal to x squared minus 2. So every time we see an x, we're going to replace it with x squared minus 2. So x squared minus 2 minus 1, x squared minus 3. So if you have 3 compositions, you start off by doing the innards, find the parent of the innards, and replace it, as we did over here. And then we find the parent of the way outside and replace it with the innards, and away you go. So that's composition functions in a nutshell. See you next time on Who Wants to Be a Mathematician?